Oh man, damn, ABS lights on. Okay, so let's begin. The ABS codes that I have for my truck is the ones I just listed, and these are the procedures to diagnose from a 2000 to a 2003 and a 2004 Ford Heritage. You can use these procedures. What I'm pointing out right there again are the codes that I had and also for these procedures to diagnose. Let's get started with step number one. Okay, so in step number one, we're going to go to the fuse number 102, which is a 50 amp fuse. This fuse is located in the engine compartment area, fuse box, the one right next to the brake booster. Okay, and we'll get to it right now. Okay, so you're going to see me point to the 50 amp fuse that pertains to the ABS module, and we're going to pull it out. I recommend using needle nose type pliers because those fuses are very difficult to take out. I'm going to take the fuse to my workbench and also use a multimeter to verify the fuse. Of course, we're visually inspecting it. It does look good. However, I still like to use the multimeter just to make sure the fuse is in good shape. So I'll demonstrate here. Okay, so we're going to select the ohms on the multimeter, the one that looks like a little horseshoe, and we're going to also verify, make sure that the multimeter is working properly. So there we go, we're selecting. We'll get the leads, and then we're going to touch both leads just to verify that we get an ohms reading and it's good. So we know the multimeter is good. Now let's check the fuse. We're going to place one lead in one terminal, the other lead in the other terminal. Doesn't matter which terminal you use, doesn't matter. We have a reading of 0.2 ohms, so we know it's good. So let me reposition the fuse and also the lead so you can get a better view of what I'm doing. So we have 0.3 ohms. I'm not too sure what the specs are for the ohms on the fuse. However, I know it's getting a reading and we're good. So now we'll place it back into its location. And then move on to the number 23 fuse, which is in the cab. Remove the cover. Now, I'm lucky I have the cover. Some Fords don't have it. But the cover also gives me the number 23 and all the other numbers of the location of that fuse. In this case, it's 23. So you see me pointing at it. And then I'll get my pliers, pull out the fuse, and we'll inspect it. As long as the fuse doesn't have a burnt mark, we're good. So we're good to go. Putting it back in its place and moving on. So now we have to check the wiring. Since the fuses are good, we have to go to step number 2, and we're going to check the wiring. So in order to do that, we have to remove or unplug the ABS module so that we can get to the plug and to the pins so that we can test out. The ABS module is underneath the air filter housing. Before removing the air filter, I'm going to remove the cover that goes over the throttle. I'm going to take out the whole intake assembly out so that you can get a better view as I give you the best camera shots. Now that the intake is already out, now we're ready to get to the ABS module. So there goes the ABS module. Okay, we have to remove this plug right here. Okay, this little tab is what helps to remove the plug or unlocks the plug. It is difficult to take off, or to pull out. So it's gonna be pulling out towards the passenger side. So you can see that the tab just slightly moved, but not enough. I'm using a screwdriver to help to pull out the tab out of the plug, and you can see how the tab is slightly moving to the left. It's still kind of difficult, and it's not enough yet to pull out the plug. So you can see how I'm struggling here, and that's normal. It's gonna happen. I'm not too sure why it's not really easy to pull out. So the tab is almost all the way out, and there we go. It's fully extended out. Now the plug can come off, and then now you have access to the pins. Now let's locate pins number 9 and 25. Those have power at all times, and also number 16 has power with ignition on. Check for battery voltage on number 9 pin, number 25. Select voltage DC. I use the needle so that I can get power, or use my multimeter to check power on slot or pin number 9. That's pin number 9. And I'm getting another needle, and I'm going to place it into the pin that pertains to ground. So it's under number 25. The multimeter positive lead, place it on number 9. The negative lead goes to the ground. I have battery voltage, pin 9, and ground is good. Now that we've tested pin 9 and also the ground, let's move the needle to pin 25, and then get the other needle and then place it on the opposite side of its original location to check the ground as well. I will get the leads ready so we can test. Place positive lead on 25 pin and negative lead on ground, and we should be getting battery voltage. I have battery voltage and we're good. Locate pin 16, place needle on 16 and ground, and test. I have battery voltage with key on. Let's remove ABS module. Locate 2-wire plug and remove. Gently use a screwdriver to remove plug. This is a T20 Torx bit. Now we'll remove the entire ABS module, and I'll take it to the workbench. So this is the ABS module, and I want to show you the solenoids. So you see me wiggle each solenoid, and that one's good, that one was good as well, but that one is really loose. That can cause the ABS code problem. Also, that one right there is somewhat okay. That one right there was very loose, and that one was very loose as well. So those solenoids tend to break off at the tip of the terminals on the circuit board. This is a new ABS module, and you can see everything looks good. Let's put it onto the truck or onto the hydraulic motor. Install the screws. Now we're going to put the 2-wire plug back in its location and hook up the main plug to the ABS module. Make sure you're careful when installing the plug to the ABS module. Push in the clip and make sure it locks properly to secure the plug. I installed the intake housing, ready to start the vehicle, and check it to see if the ABS light went out. Vehicle started, and the ABS light disappeared. Problem solved. Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you have any comments, please write them down there at the bottom. I'll get to you. Definitely like to learn from everyone, and if you have any questions, I'll do my best to answer them. But anyways, thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. Please hit the like button, and I'll see you next time. See you.